welcome to the Wet Coast Wolves podcast. I'm just looking at the cheat sheet. It's is it 12 now? Wow, episode 12.
Mm-hmm.
Today is Thursday, October 6th, 2016, and it is the evening, which is why our lighting looks really different. Usually we podcast first thing in the morning, and today we decided we should podcast after work instead. And of course it's fall now, and it's super dark out, so yeah, that's why we have strange lighting. So we are podcasting from inside Wet Coast Wools. It's my yarn store. And you can find us online at Wet Coast Wools on all the social medias. So it's wetcoastwools.com, and then Instagram, Ravelry, Facebook, Twitter. It's all just Wet Coast Wools, one word.
Pinterest as well, isn't it?
Yeah, I usually get to Pinterest toward Christmas more. I tend not to. I spend a lot of time looking on for store window ideas, but that's kind of it.
Do you want to tell them who you are?
Oh yeah, I'm Glenda. You can find me on Ravelry as Glenda and Instagram as Glenda McDonald.
And I'm Bernadette, also known as Eco Geek on all the things. And I scheduled my day bad today, so I kind of look slightly crazy.
She was just at the gym doing a bar workout. She's not gonna be able to walk tomorrow. Trust me.
It's my my first ever bar workout, and I used to run all the time, and I was fairly confident in my legs' abilities to be strong, and I know. About 5 seconds in, I'm like shaking. It's doing my best robot.
I've never actually done the bar workouts, but I know they're pretty intense. They're supposed to be really good for you.
It was, well, yeah, we'll see how I feel tomorrow. Tomorrow they might not feel very good for me, but we'll see.
Too funny.
So yeah, we're post-Knit City. Pre-Christmas.
Yes. I haven't had a day off since before Knit City, and
Mm-hmm.
it's been a crazy weekend, and tomorrow's my first day off, and I'm so looking forward to it.
I told her if she tries to come in, I'm going to lock her outside the store. She can't come in.
I was going to try and come in. I might still.
We had a great time at Knit City. It was so fantastic to get to meet everyone who watched the podcast. Thank you for watching, by the way.
Yes, thank you for watching us. It's so fun when you and like when you come up and say, "I watch your podcast." I'm like, "Wow, that's so fun! I love it."
No,
I love that people watch us.
It's nice to not just be.
Want to, but
yeah, thank you for imbibing in our particular brand of creative and a little bit crazy. It's great, and there's almost 1,000 of you now.
Yeah,
which is also crazy. We're pretty sure we're gonna do 1,000 member giveaway. Or 1,000 subscriber giveaway in the Ravelry group, which we will.
I think we'll have hit it by next podcast. So I think we should we'll probably put a prompt up in the group in the next couple of days, probably.
Yeah. So keep an eye on the group. We may or may not do an Instagram post or something.
Mm-hmm. And it'll be like a question. We haven't thought of one yet, but I love when other people do like random questions and you have to go and give all your answers, and it's fun to see the answers.
It's a great time.
So I think we'll do that, and then we'll have some fun giveaways. I was rooting around in the back looking for some needle felting stuff, which I'll show you why shortly, but and I found some yarn that we can give away.
Oh,
so
sweet.
It's some Illimani yarn.
Oh, that's excellent.
So, some alpaca. I think it's alpaca. It might be llama. I didn't actually look at the tag. I just found the yarn.
That's fantastic.
So, yeah. That might be our giveaway.
And speaking of giveaways, stay tuned to the end of the episode because we have the winners of the Canada.
Oh, yes. Yes, it ended on the 30th of September.
Yeah, and also, thank you to everyone who participated in that.
Yeah.
We'll talk more about that later. But this is a show where you come to see knitting. Would you like to see what we finished?
Oh, yeah.
Maybe
we actually
in
made
theory.
Things.
Um,
Feels like a long time since the last podcast. Oh my goodness, so much has happened.
Mm-hmm. Feels crazy pants. We probably will forget things, but that's okay. Do you want to go first? Should I go first?
I can go first.
Okay, go for it.
So I'm going to start with my cowl that I made. If you were at Knit City, you would have seen this. So I think I showed it last time, and it was just this much, just with the lace. So this is the finished cowl. So there's the chevrons in the texture section and the chevrons in the lace section. And this is made with Custom Woolen Mill's 2-ply mule spun yarn, which is, it's a commercially made yarn, but the mill is over 100 years old, and it kind of replicates hand spun texture. It's gorgeous. This is one of my favorite yarns.
Yeah, it's a woolen spun, so it traps more air in it, and it's or woolen spun and mule spinning is what replicates hand spinning.
So, I was thinking, they're above you. Just, I don't know if you can see, just above Bernadette's head on the shelf.
Why did I duck? Like, that's gonna somehow... You could probably grab one.
Okay, reach. Oh yeah, they're here. You can see them this one too. So we had these kits. I think we showed them last podcast, and we got them in for Knit City. So it was one full skein of the mule spun, and then 4 little, they're mini skeins. They're technically 25 gram, but because these are 113 gram because they're 4 ounces. So these are like 1 ounce skeins, which is like, I don't know, 28 grams if you want to be technical. They always overweight their skeins. It's fantastic. So we made these up, a bunch of different colors, and then this was the cowl the pattern we were giving away to go with the kits. And you can make it, this cowl, just to show you, if you put it on, it does go around twice. And actually it has stretched out quite a bit since I first blocked it. But you can make it a lot longer if you want it to like go 3 times around or longer, because I only used half of the main skein, and I had leftovers of all the colors. So because I didn't want to design something that some people might use up all the yarn and have none left and not be able to finish. So I kind of underestimated, but it's actually quite cozy. It's super fun. And you could take the color the brightest one or the one you like least and put that in as where the yellow is. But yeah. So we still have some of these left. The pattern is also available. I called it the Wet Coast Cowl. You can buy it on Ravelry. And yeah.
Did you mention you designed it?
I did design it, and it's my first pattern I've ever published on Ravelry.
Yay! Yay.
And now I've done that. Sorry, I should put this down. Now that I've done the one, I have other ones that I want to put out because, once you get started, it's like super fun, so why not? Well, I want to keep this on. So it's going to be too warm in 2 seconds.
It looks good with your sweater. That's excellent.
Oh, yeah, I'll do, okay, you go ahead, because I just remembered my sweater is technically an FO too, but.
I'll just go for it. It's
okay, so this is the Emerald Sweater by Isabel Kramer. I'll stand up. You can see it's kind of an A-line shape. It's actually a really flattering shape. It goes in at the waist and then flares out at the bottom. It's kind of wrinkly because I've been sitting in it all day, but super cozy. It comes in a t-shirt. You can do a t-shirt with short sleeves, but I wanted the longer sleeves. And this little textured gather here. It's a fun little slip stitch, and it goes all across the back. Yeah, it's kind of smocking. You slip some stitches and then you catch it. You catch the slipped stitch into the next stitch, and it makes that little X design. But
cool.
Really,
I have no idea how smocking's done, but that sounds about right.
I don't know if that's officially smocking.
Oh, I have no idea. I don't
know. It makes a fun little design, a fun little gather. Super cute. And you do the 2 shoulder, or you do across the back, then the 2 shoulders, and then you knit the body, and then you pick up the sleeves and do short row sleeve cap to go down. So it's kind of really fun. And I made it in Coast, which is, we now technically have in 2 weights, but it's a kind of a heavy DK light worsted cotton wool blend, and I've had this for 3 years now, and it doesn't pill hardly at all.
No,
maybe a little bit right here, but
in all fairness, anything
you can hardly see it.
Yeah, it looks great though. It's worn really well.
Yeah, I love this sweater. I wear it a lot. You probably saw me wearing it on Saturday. I think I had it on.
Repeat sweaters. You fiend. So,
your turn.
Speaking of Knit City finished object-y type things, I knit. I'm going to take this tag off. I didn't think about this.
Those are hiding. No, my mug has the little eyes. See, whoops. The eyes appear on the things because of the heat of the mug.
It's a spooky mug from last year.
It's from last year, David Steve.
Okay, so I knit a Shelob shrug.
It's such a cute little shrug.
It's a pattern by ffrench, and I knit it using our new amelie yarn, which is a chainette construction. I believe the chain is made of merino, from what I can decipher, and then the inside the chain there is alpaca and silk. It's 2 skeins. Did I say that? I don't remember
if you did.
But it's crazy light. For 2 skeins, it's only 100 grams. And yeah, it's fantastic. Apparently, Caitlin at the show sold out of the pattern, which was awesome.
Her booth was like kind of just across from ours, and we kept sending people over there. Go over there and get the pattern.
I'm hoping in editing that'll switch around. If not, this looks really silly.
No,
Look at how silly this guy is at the bottom. He's my favorite. Okay.
Poking its head around the
corner. Yeah, it was a really interesting shrug. I'm going to knit another one as part of my Christmas knitting. So it'll be interesting to see what it looks like in a superwash merino. And then, because Caitlin originally did her sample in 100% cotton, and now we've done it in a llama silk. Llama? Alpaca? A baby alpaca. Some sort of camelid. I can think of camelid, but not alpaca.
The pattern is like one size, but there's instructions to make it bigger. Is that right?
Yes, on the project page there's instructions on how to make it bigger. But it's a pretty good size. I will put it on over top of my silly plaid shirt and look ridiculous. But
you should wear that to Kelsey's wedding on next Saturday.
That is not a bad idea. Considering I didn't sew myself a new dress like I planned.
It's so cute.
Yeah. If I was wearing something other than a plaid shirt right now, it would probably look more cute. But yeah, and with this yarn, it blocks like a dream, but I can totally see why she called it Shelob based off the lace. It's very spidery. And yeah, it's fantastic. So that's that. You want to do another faux, or should I do another faux?
I have 2 hose instead of a faux, but
that doesn't count.
Yeah, especially because, here, let me do one more.
Do you want to just show off your hose when you talk about your projects, or do you want to...
oh, yeah, you know what, I'll just show them off when I do they're not really finished, so
okay.
We'll do them as things I'm working... Whips, that's what I'm looking for. Things I'm working on.
Not that I'm needing to rain on your parade,
yeah,
I
it's
promise.
been a long week.
It has been. I actually had a day off, too, which is, well, I got to clean and go grocery shopping. An adult day off.
Technically, it counts as a day off.
Yeah. So, I also, since the last time we spoke, I finished the handspun I was working on for my friend Sam. And gave it to her. She enjoys it. Didn't write any details down about it, besides the fact I finished it, but I've put a picture here. And I think it was close to 200 yards. Mia of the future is probably correcting myself. But yeah, so I finished that as well. It was 100% Coriadale from what's Unwind's fiber again? Do you remember?
Oh, Aurelia.
That one. Yep, it was her fiber.
It's a New Zealand source.
Mm-hmm. Doing this in the evening was supposed to help my brain work, and then I did things, and now my brain's not working. I'm really sorry, guys. I tried. And I finished this hat.
Yay!
That I was working on for Brian. Well, I have to say his name like that. So this is the Violet Waffles hat in the Knitted Witch's Brew colorway. It's just a simple waffle stitch. I did the needles recommended in the pattern. The pattern's for a DK weight yarn, but it was fine. This is a worsted weight yarn. The reason I did the waffle stitch pattern was to try and stop it from pooling. As you guys can kind of tell, it just did it anyway. It
sort of spiraled in a stripe, didn't it?
Yeah, the black kind of went out. It's fine. It's fine. Brian will love it. I'm sure it won't leave his head for weeks. Yeah.
That kind of pooling is fine on a hat. In a sweater, it looks kind of weird, but...
Yeah, I'm really regretting not buying a sweater quantity, though,
oh, yeah?
of this. This would look so cool in just, like, a basic cardigan with, like, black ribbing. It would look so cool. Next time I go to Portland, maybe. Or maybe I'll have to do a special order. Who knows? But yeah, so I also finished that. That's part of his birthday present, because I can't just knit one thing for his birthday present. The other part is in whips. I have a problem, guys. I always complain about knitting too many presents, and then I'm like, but they need 2 things. Like a crazy person. And then these are for my cousin, who has a birthday the day after my boyfriend. Like, they planned this against me in regards to presents. But these are the Maize mitts.
That should have been your criteria for when you were, like, finding someone to date. Go around and, like, you know, Cinderella's slipper, go around and ask, when's your birthday? When's your birthday? Nope, there's someone already in my family with a birthday then. I can't date you.
It's not evenly spaced. But yeah, these are knit out of my Handspun, so you can kind of tell from the uneven texture. It's a pattern by Tin Can Knits, and the fiber was from a Canadian dyer called Sweet Spun, and it's a BFL Handspun. And it is super soft and delicious, and I made these extra long, because in Vancouver you don't really need full mittens. You might this winter, but apparently it's supposed to be cold, but most winters you don't. But I made the ribbing extra long so you can fold it down, and then fold it back up. Because also if you're on the bus, you have to take your gloves on and off and on and off and on.
It's nice to have, I have fingerless mittens that I made that are long like that, and it's nice to have them to cover your hands, because when you're holding on to the bus poles and the straps and stuff in cough season, like, the last thing you want to do is have, like, gross bus germs all over your hands, so...
Yep, exactly.
Trap it on the glove.
So, and what we kind of wanted to start doing, and I'm going to use these gloves as a transition into doing it, is going to do a miniature know your wool section.
Oh, yes.
Because this is a BFL wool from a blue-faced Leicester sheep.
You have to put a picture of the BFLs
I
in.
will.
They're so cute. I love them.
The reason they're called blue-faced is the ones that have the black face have a slight bluish tinge to them because they have like a white fuzz. So with the white fuzz and the black face, they kind of look slightly blue, but now most BFL sheep are white. I don't know why. There's probably some breeding from it.
They breed it because you can't bleach wool very well, and so you can't, and of course you can't color dark wool.
But the black sheep have white fur.
Maybe,
wool.
maybe, but do they get,
Fur wool.
are they sheep with wool on their faces at all?
No.
Okay.
It's a naked face. They are really weird. They have a huge
some
nose.
of the sheep have like wool up here, and that's supposed to be like really good quality.
I don't think these ones do. These ones look like you took the face of like a border collie and like put it on a sheep. So it's like real long. Actually, no, it's a horse nose is what it is. Horse nose sheep.
Funny.
But anyhow. So the Know Your Wool section is just supposed to give you more information about the sheep. So the reason BFL is such a nice wool to spin with and also to knit with is that it's a longer staple. It's from the British Longwool sheep type. And they have a longer staple, which helps the fiber wear better, because if the staples are lined up and they're longer, it helps.
They spin
with
in
pilling.
better too, right?
Yes.
And so more of it gets trapped into the spin, and then when you're rubbing it, there's less friction on the ends to make the little bits pill out.
Yeah, it's harder wearing, but it is still really nice and soft and smooshy. I wish you guys, wish Touch-O-Vision was a thing, because these are crazy soft. Would you like to smoosh and confirm?
Yes, I would like to smoosh and confirm, because I might just steal them.
I have some Handspun left, and I'm very excited about it.
How nicely they fit me, and they should just come home with me, see? They can be my early birthday present. My birthday's in June, and I totally need one now. They're so fun. Look, they fit me and everything.
There you go. Yeah, so because they are a longer staple, they wear better. They're softer, or it's soft because of the type of sheep it is, and it will wear better. And sometimes you get a slight luster to it. This does not really have a sheen to it at all, but some BFLs, depending on how they're dyed, get a bit of a shine to them. And yeah.
BFL sock yarn is amazing to work with if you can get it. It makes and you don't, I mean, you often do see superwash BFL sock yarn, but it doesn't have to be superwashed. It still can be. And
it's one of the few fibers that you could use without nylon in it, and I think it would still wear okay. Needle down. Yeah. So as we work with different wool types, or as I just get obsessed with different types of sheep, we might just randomly give you information about stuff.
Wools.
Yeah,
we have plans for different wools.
And I realized I forgot to say one thing about the Maize mitts. Because my Handspun was very thick and thin, when I did it with the recommended needle size and the pattern, it was way too airy and wouldn't actually do a good job of keeping your hands warm, so I switched to EOS 4 and then worked the adult medium to get the adult small size. And they have a little bit of negative ease.
Have you blocked them?
No.
So that would block up really nice.
Yes. I'm very happy about it. So yeah, that's those. And I think that's all my foes. So you can...
Okay.
Glenda's got hose. She's got hose.
Unfortunately, two hoes does not make a foe. So my whips, because I'll just show you by showing you the half-finished part. Oh, look, I didn't even put my ends in. See, I went to all the trouble. Oh, no, I didn't even do that one. Sorry, sometimes I weave all the toe in, the end in, and then I just don't cut it off. Because I've realized that I have a bad habit of, if the socks are for Mike, I have a bad habit of just, finishing and, weaving the ends in, and then I go and try it on his foot, and it doesn't fit, and then I have to, unpick the woven in bit, and then so I just stopped. So this is my one my one sock. That's the Petty Harbor sock. There is a flaw in the patterning in the leg. Oh, you can see it here. See, it's just this section. The shadow's messed up. I don't know. I was doing it in the car on the way to Whistler, and I was not paying attention, and so I made a mistake. 72 stitches, 2.25 millimeters, double points, of course. It's a cuff down sock, and you can see the gusset, heel flap gusset, turn, nothing fancy.
Just interrupt you, but on your behalf, I promise.
She says it now.
No, if you guys, every time Glenda talks about DPNs, I put up her hashtag of DPNs forever. If you're using DPNs,
use the hashtag if you use
hashtag.
the DPNs. We're trying to convert all these magic looper people.
It won't happen, but it'll make Glenda happy to know that she's not alone. So if you're using...
Exactly.
So let her know that you were also old school.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, so this sock yarn, I think I said last time, it's Wendy St. Ives, I think it's called, and I've had it in my stash for like 10 years. Somebody gave it to me in a swap.
We're like, oh god.
I know, it shows how long I've been knitting. Someone gave it to me in a swap when I lived in England in 2006, so I should have looked up the name of the person who gave it to me in a swap, but I don't remember.
Thank you, random person of the past.
Yes, thank you. I did get put to good use eventually. So yeah, that's what I'm working on. That's the rest of it right there. It's a sock mustache with butt. There you go.
You cast on the second one. That's like half the battle, right?
Yeah, just actually knitting it is the next part. The problem is it's not bust knitting. So yeah, that was the thing. So that was the one sock I was working on, and then I needed bust knitting because that you have to it's a 4-row repeat, and I clearly couldn't do it even in the car when I was like driving with no distraction. So then I made a bust knitting sock. So that's this one. Most of which was actually knit at Knit City at the lecture. I knit the heel flap while we were listening to Isolde, and I did the turn in the pub the next night, and then I did...
Which is a daring move. No one...
She said I couldn't do it, and it worked.
No one without supervision should attempt to turn a heel
And I didn't even have a pattern. It's totally made up by myself sock.
Please don't try and turn a heel while drinking. Most of the time it doesn't end
that
well.
bad. Somebody... it was Vicky from Sweet Leaps who helped me figure out how to divide the heel, because I couldn't in my head do the math on 2/3 of however many stitches I had across the heel. I think it was 34. Yeah, and then so it ended up, I think I did the heel flap a little bit longer than usual because I picked up 20 stitches instead of 18, but whatever, it doesn't matter. And just keep decreasing, and then, toe, done. And that one's kind of woven in. So
is that one for Mike too, or is that one for you?
No, this one's for Mike too, because I started with 64 stitches, because this is on 2.5 millimeter needles, because it's the Peyton's Croy sock, which is a little bit heavier. And then I did the cuff in 64 stitches, and then I decided it was going to be too small, so I increased 4 stitches after the cuff and made it 68 stitches. And it's actually quite, because I also did the extra 2 rows in the heel flap, it made for a longer gusset, so it's a bit wider across here, which Mike doesn't say that, but he actually needs a bigger sock than I've been making him, so that's for him now. And that one, I haven't cast a second one of that on because I just wound the yarn before the podcast.
That's good though.
But yeah, they're fun.
Yay.
Yeah. I actually am going to start that orange skein of opal that I've had kicking around for a while. I'm going to start those now too. I dug out my extra needles.
I've converted her to
what
being a sock
What is wrong with me? I don't knit
guys.
socks. I went for years without knitting socks.
No,
it's all the bus travel. It's because when I lived in Newcastle and I think I said before, when I took the bus for an hour each way to school and back, I knit a lot of socks, and then I stopped taking the bus that long, so I stopped knitting socks, because I don't wear socks, so,
There you go.
Anyway.
Can I talk about whip?
No, you can't.
Whip.
Yes, you can. Go.
Okay.
I'm going to have an emergency snack, which is chocolate left here by Greta.
We're going to move that. That noise is probably real loud. I've been really, really good about not being OCD about the noise.
And then...
Hey, I'm just going to ignore you. So, I also needed vanilla socks for Knit City because while wandering around the floor, I needed something to do with my hands. So I grabbed my Scare the Muggles Riv Creative bag and had it hanging off my arm and was knitting away.
Did you
which
see the
she thought was hilarious.
The mustache one that Sarah had?
Yes.
Was the creative of Riv Creative.
I needs it. My dapper cats are lonely. So I cast on a pair of vanilla socks for Brian for his birthday. Because, like I said, I have a problem. I can't just make one thing. He needs all the things. And that's not just him. It's also anyone I know. So yeah, it's just a toe-up Patton's Croy sock. Nothing terribly exciting. Super basic. I kept mine on 2.25s because I really enjoy the dense fabric because Brian is very mean to his socks. And I did a Fleagle heel, which is a little bit derpy, but it's fine. It's done. Whatever.
Do you ever put the reinforcement thread on the heel?
No, because it's not the heel.
Is that not where he wears it out?
No, Brian does judo, as previously established. So Brian wears his socks out right here. Right in the middle.
Of the foot, yeah.
Right, because that's in judo, you're trained to put a lot more weight on the ball of your foot.
And that's the only thing you can do there is twist on it. That's a real pain.
Or make my soles like Turkish socks where you replace the bottom of them.
Oh, yeah.
But honestly, at that point, I'd rather just knit new socks.
I want to try that. Elizabeth Zimmerman has her moccasin sock pattern.
Oh, that's a
I
plan.
really need to try that one.
Okay. Sorry. I'm like, just 2 seconds. So that's the other one. I started increasing, and I was working on it, increasing for the heel, was working on it during Guild, and kept messing it up. So I stopped. But look! I have Harry Potter markers now. I'm part of the cool kids! You didn't know it, but I am. Yeah, I'm very excited that I have Harry Potter stitch markers. And if you were at Knit City, you probably saw them. But yeah, as I'm now tangled in my yarn.
Do we have any left? I can't remember.
I think we have some of the Harry Potter ones left. It was a unicorn, a Deathly Hallows sign, and an owl. Who knows? Maybe they'll end up on the website. They'll probably just end up in store because we get tired.
Yeah, I think, I don't know that I had a bunch of mine left over as well. You probably may have seen them, the ones I was making on Instagram. And we do have a bunch of the sets left over, but I'm not sure if there's enough to put them on the internets because I have just random sets. And it's really hard to just put random things on our website. So
yeah, this is why I did sets of specific
yeah, yours
things.
were all the same.
Yeah.
I did sets, but I got bored, so some sets have different things than other sets.
Okay, do you have more whips?
I have a knitting attacks whip.
Okay, go for it. I need to get to the end of this row, so.
Oh, okay.
I can't show it, it's a blob.
Oh, and then I can show my really cool one afterward, but I'll show you this one first. This is my sweater that I made. It's a sad, sad sweater. So I made this for the class that I was running. It's the In Stillness sweater by Alicia Plummer, which is made in the same yarn as the sweater I'm wearing, which, wow, the colors are actually really close.
Glenda gray blue.
Yes. It's called Nimbus. So this is a lesson in why you should make notes on your patterns and why you should read the notes that you make on your patterns. I did my swatch because I know I never get gauged, so I purposely swatched. I think I swatched like 2 or 3 times on different needles. And then on my pattern, I guess, which I actually don't remember doing, I wrote, make the smallest size because you don't have gauge. You're not getting the right gauge. Then I went to my class and I cast on for the 3rd size, which is the size that I wanted in terms of like finished dimensions. And my gauge is not right. So my sweater, instead of being 37 inches, is 44 inches. Because this is what happens when you're 2 stitches out per 4 inches on your gauge. So actually it was really funny. One of our regulars, Greta, she tried it on because I was actually going to give her the whole sweater, like sell her the half-made sweater, but it didn't quite fit her right. So,
is there anyone in your family that you could gift that to for Christmas?
My mom doesn't wear sweaters.
Have you done the draw yet?
The draw? Oh, no. Everyone else in my family, I'd like that. On my sisters-in-law, I'd have to, they're all way taller than me.
Okay, but just ripping up the bottom would be way better than having to rip out the whole thing. It's a thought.
I don't think any of them would fit it, actually, because Amy's not... Yeah, no, it just wouldn't work.
Okay, that's fine. I just wanted to ask.
I don't know if it's their style, anyway. It might fit Dominica, but I don't think it would. I don't think it's her style. No, it's going to go in the naughty corner, and I will pull it out, and I'll make it into something eventually.
That's okay.
I'm not really happy with the sweater right now, and I don't really want to face knitting the pattern again, so...
There's other sweaters. I think you knit the fun part, so really knit it, so whatever.
Yeah, so, it counts. But I think I actually want to make that same sweater in wool and use that yarn for something else. Just because.
Not a bad plan.
So, yeah.
And I'm almost to the end of my row. 2 seconds here. Increasing. This is my last whip, and then I have to talk about it till craft all the things. Craft all the things is really sad anyway. Okay, so on my trend of not being able to stop at one birthday, Christmas, present, I have a problem. My cousin, who these are for, she was over the other day and I got her to try on the gloves. And I felt bad that she wasn't going to have any surprises. Also, Siobhan, if you're watching this, turn this off right now, because I'm not knitting you a 3rd thing. So, turn off the podcast.
No, keep watching, and then she'll have to knit you a 3rd thing.
I'm not. If you want to ruin your surprise, keep watching. It's your call. Yeah, so, my cousin and I, we go out for beers, and sometimes these bars are very cold, and she's gotten into this tendency of stealing or I give her my shawls to wear, my big neckerchief giant shawls. So I thought I would knit her one of her own. So, wow, that actually looks really good.
You've gone far on that one from this morning.
Yeah, I cast this on yesterday. But then again, it is super bulky yarn on US 15s. So this is an offhand lace shawl by French.
Caitlin was in today. She came to visit us.
Hi, Caitlin, if you're watching. One day I will act normal. Today is not that day. So yeah, this is, I'll show you the cover. You can see Caitlin's super rad purple hair of the past.
She's not purple hair right now, though. She's like...
She is like bluish, kind of. So that's Caitlin, and that is the shawl. It actually looks very similar color-wise to this, in her rad purple hair.
What did she knit it with?
She knit hers in her own yarn.
Oh, of course. Because of course, that's what you do when you make yarn.
Yeah. She did it in her, we will tell you all of our secrets, chunky merino. Dyed with fennel and mordant alum and iron.
Alum and iron, I think. Well, the alum must be the, mordant. Yeah, the alum's a mordant. And I guess iron as well. I didn't know iron was a mordant.
Caitlin's also secretly an amazing yarn witch. She does things with plants and it feels like wizardry. Anyhow, so this is for my cousin. I'm knitting it with Bernat roving, I think, that I got from a friend. I got a ton of it, so I stash busting a little bit. What is this? Blown out like no one's business. Yarn?
Yeah, the light's really bright. 'Cause
it is.
So dark
Okay,
outside.
well, it says Bernat roving. It's a wool acrylic blend. It's very nice and soft. I think it'll be a lovely shawl. And it's in the putty colorway. It's very exciting. It's very exciting. But yeah, so yeah, that's it for my cousin. I'm using my fancy new Riv Creative stitch markers.
Those are fun.
You guys can't really see. That I got Sarah to smuggle into the city for me. You can see it's shaped like a princess cut diamond. And they're really great. She has them in her shop. So if you want some, you can definitely go look in her Etsy shop. Caterpillar Green got some, and so did Shannon Cook. And I saw they did it, and I know Sarah, so I was like, I want to be part of the cool kids club. Because I'm not a poser at all. But yeah, so that's part of my Christmas knitting binge, and yeah.
Okay, so I have one last whip, which is super fun. So I was making this. I've been making this for a while, but then I just was working on it today. Are you ready? It's pretty cool.
Brain.
Yeah.
I love how the torso like rotates.
Oops, turn around, torso. I have to get Velcro and stick them together. Whoops. Okay, stay head. And then there's his body that goes like this. So this is that eye turned out really well. That's too funny.
That's great. That was very smart.
And then, then look, just in case, his stomach has to fall out. This is so much fun.
That's how I feel right now, is that dude.
I was making this today at group, and everyone's like, what the heck are you doing? This is a Knit Your Own Zombie from Fiona Goebel's book, which, I should have brought over, but it's just called Knit Your Own Zombie. This is a classic zombie, and actually this one, you can, if you go to the Ravelry page, there is a link to it. It's a free on the internet. Some crafty, something, I don't know, some page featured it. Pardon me? His legs are on backwards. So you're supposed to do it as completely separate pieces. Like this isn't supposed to be attached. You're supposed to have it removable. And then there's a rat you can knit, so you can have a rat coming out of his stomach because,
Why not?
And then, but then you're supposed to Velcro them together. But I'm making this for my nephew who is, I want to say 7. No, he's got to be 6 because he was born in 2010. So I think he's 6.
Nah.
Whatever.
No, that's right. I was just being like, that is a correct number.
Yes.
Math is hard.
So I only realized because I was going through my phone and I found a picture of me holding him and he's like, this big. And I'm like, he's not that big anymore.
Aww.
But, and I just figure that he's going to lose all the pieces. So rather than try to, do much. Whoops. But then Kelsey gave me the idea to make it look like a spinal column. So I don't know if you can see it. It's a little crochet chain in the middle there. You can see and so it's like his spine that's been ripped out because he's a zombie. I am making him clothes. He gets pants and a green jacket.
I think he
as
should
well.
be a nudist zombie, but apparently that's too indecent for
It's
the
just
zombie.
more fun for pieces, you know, because if he's a zombie with his, yeah, it's just
I've
cooler.
never understood how, like, the bodies are rotting, but the clothes stays on. Like, the clothes are rotting as well,
They're
but they're
like
never
ripped and
they're
stuff,
never-
but like,
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't like zombies. I also think about them too much. I like the science behind it, because it's one of my greatest fears is a zombie apocalypse.
it's so funny.
It's not cool.
And just if you have those bees, you know those evil eye beads, they're blue with like, they look like an eyeball. That's what they use in the pattern. But I wasn't sure that a 4-year, well, Max's little brother, who's like 3.5, probably shouldn't have a glass bead kicking around. So I just needle felted it, and you can see it's like sewn on with red yarn.
That's awesome.
Because it's so cool.
You have to take a picture of his face when you give it to him.
Oh, Max?
Yeah, because he's gonna have a fit. I would have a fit.
My brother got me this book like a year ago. It was for Christmas 2015, and I got it in like February of this year. And I told Max that I would make it for him then, and I was supposed to have it ready for his birthday in July. Oops. But Thanksgiving is a perfect time to get zombies, right? It's almost Halloween.
Make him a pilgrim zombie.
Oh, with the
He
hat?
wouldn't get it at all.
No,
My
he
brother
totally
would find it
wouldn't get it.
hilarious.
I don't know. I
brother
think
a pilgrim zombie.
I'm seeing him on Saturday. Mom's doing Thanksgiving dinner on Saturday, so I have to have it finished. And I'm thinking I'm going to try and make another smaller, well, perhaps less intricate thing. I want to make him like dance or something. He needs like a zombie dance.
Okay.
I know, but I was going to make something for Patrick like that's less fiddly and.
Just knit him a giant arm. Just the arm. It'd be like,
God,
this
that
was
would
a
be
giant
so
zombie,
funny.
but I only could find the arm.
You get a zombie arm.
Yep, this is all you get. You just get the arm. Just a
Oh
piece
my
of him.
goodness! I wonder
Or
if
like
there's an
the
arm
head.
pattern on Ravelry.
Probably, there's kidneys.
I guess if you just knit a glove and then attach, you start with.
You could just knit that arm in, like, super bulky.
Yeah, but then you don't have the
fingering
hands.
the
These are just like, stump
That's
of an
true.
arm.
Or like a head.
a head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Knit him only a piece and be like, this is part of a giant zombie. Because he's 4. You could have a lot of fun with it.
Yeah, you probably would too. I don't know.
Okay.
Okay.
Sorry. We could talk about the zombie forever. Do you have anything else? Is that it?
Sorry, stop. No, I think that's all that I have.
Okay. Do you have craft all the things this week, or am I flying solo?
You're flying solo. I didn't bring my craft all the things. I'm
Okay.
making more tea towels, but they're not finished, so they're not really fun to see them when they're not finished.
I don't think she'll watch this before the wedding, because she's probably crazy. But Kelsey, if you're watching, go
Turn away.
Yeah, stop looking. Plug your ears. Go away. There'll be a lot of that for like the next few months of me being like, hey person, if you're watching, please leave. So Kelsey, our coworker, is getting married. And when a crafty person gets married, you get to make them crafty things. So I haven't made tons of progress on this, but I started, and that took a lot of work. So,
You have another week. It'll be
yes.
fine.
I'm also, Brian's birthday is the day that Kelsey's getting married, and then my cousin's birthday is the day after. It's just a lot of gifting in like 2 days.
Brian's stuff is almost done, and your shawl's almost done, and then you'll have knitting or crafty time.
Exactly. So what I'm doing for Kelsey is I'm making her and her fiance creature as pixel people. I made the pattern on this website called Stitch Fiddle, which is amazing. You get to make free cross-stitch knitting and crochet patterns, which is really helpful. And you can kind of see I've started Kelsey's dress. I haven't done a ton. I won't lie. I started. That was half the battle. So yeah, started Kelsey's dress. It's on sparkly Aida cloth. I'm going to, once I get her and her fiance on there, I'm going to do, because they're getting married in the middle of October, it'll be like Chris and Kelsey, and then like the date of their wedding, and then I'm going to try and put like a pumpkin and like some leaves, and like a pumpkin and then some
that's
leaves,
fun.
and then get a wooden hoop and like frame it, and then put a fabric thingy on the back, so this will all just be inside. But yeah, so that's my craft all the things. It's not, hopefully next time I'll have a picture of it to show you guys the finished ones. There'll be a lot of pixel people in my future, because I want to do some pixel people family portraits for Christmas gifts.
Did you get the basic people shape from the Martha Stewart ones, or did you just make them up?
No, I went from there. I tried making them up, and they looked all real weird. I did most of Brian's family trying to do it on my own, and then I was like, we look really special. There are also a lot of great pictures of pixel people on Pinterest that you can kind of take ideas from. I figured out how to do a hoodie from looking at a pixel person, because Brian wears a lot of hoodies, and in the family portraits, he should wear a hoodie.
We Little Stitches used to do custom orders, and you could like send them a photograph, and then they would make you.
I think Cloud's
The pattern?
Factory does that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm cheap, and I can figure it out.
We Little Stitches is. Is it that one? Oh no, never mind. That was Billie Jane I'm thinking of. Never mind.
Okay. So
Weird
that's
6 degrees of separation things.
That's my craft all of the things. I like that animation. Sorry, guys. I realize I don't do any other like title cards or anything, but I enjoy the craft all of the things.
I will have. Well, I should try and. I'm hoping to get some sewing done this weekend, so maybe I'll have some craft all the things.
That is a great.
I've hauled the secret box of fabric that's been hidden here for a week or 2 weeks.
Why? Mike watches the podcast. Why would you do
He's
that?
gonna see it when I bring it home tonight.
Right,
No, I ordered fabric online and I had it shipped to the store, and I haven't brought it home yet because it needs to have some space in my fabric box. And
Well, now the yarn is gone. You got all the space.
The yarn?
That was at your house for Knit City?
Oh yeah. The 7 giant boxes of yarn that were taking up my workspace in my crafting area.
Mm-hmm.
But now they've all been dissipated into the store or into people's stashes,
That's excellent.
which is where they should be.
Exactly.
Speaking of which, shall we do acquisitions from? Or should we do the Cal thing first?
Yes, we'll do the cow. You guys have all waited very patiently.
Yes.
So
And then if after you see that, if you don't want to see our acquisitions, you don't have to.
That's true. Okay, so for the Canada cow,
Do you want to talk about how you cleaned it up a little bit?
Yeah, so we had a few entries I had to delete that weren't valid. We made executive decisions that Bernat and Pattons were not Canadian companies.
Paynes used to be Canadian. They don't
Like
actually spin anything in
40
Canada anymore.
years ago.
They may have one yarn that they still spin in Canada, but most of them, when you read the labels, it's all like all over the world.
Spun in Turkey, and like their head office isn't even here anymore.
Yeah.
Like, if you had like vintage patents from like 40 years ago,
The old stuff.
yeah, but no one did. So
Even,
unfortunately,
it wasn't even that
those
long
got
ago.
deleted.
It was like because that classic merino that I have from way back. That the blanket, the blanket I made that took me 10 years to finish. That stuff was actually still spun. Well, it wasn't technically spun in Canada. I think it was balled in Canada.
Okay,
That was the end of it. And
that
that
doesn't
stuff's
count.
like ages. Wow, it just got darker in here somehow.
It's my soul. Yeah. So if I had to delete your post, no hard feelings. Your knitting was lovely. I just it didn't count. It was great, but it just didn't count. So after a little bit of cleaning up, we had 349 total entries.
Great job, everybody.
Yeah, thank you for participating, everyone. So I did random number generator, and we came up with 3 different numbers. And the way I'm going to do this is I have 3 prizes, just to refresh your guys' memory. I have some O Canada yarn, which is fabulous.
They all come with stitch markers, right?
Yes, and they all come with stitch markers.
Oh yeah, they're attached. I
You
forgot
get
attached
the
those.
questionable maple leaf and hockey sticks. If you don't want the questionable maple leaf, that's fine. Let me know. Maple leaves are hard, apparently, for non-Canadians to make. So we have 1 skein of yarn and stitch markers, and then we have 2 bags that also have the hockey stick and the questionable stitch marker. And they're all interfaced, but still smushy. And it has hockey, Canada flags, and fireworks on the inside, which you cannot see. So there's 2 of those guys, made by me. And how I'm going to do this, just for extra fun in my Ravelry inbox, is we're going to do it, whoever contacts me, when you contact me to claim your prize, tell me whether or not you want the bag or the yarn, and
Is it first come, first pick?
yeah, so whoever gets to me, my Ravelry inbox has them numbered, so like time-wise. So send me a private message on Ravelry, EcoGeek, EC0G33K. Every time I have to say that, I regret it so much. So, whether you want the yarn in the bag, first come, first serve. And I have 3 winners. So, first winner was entry 91, was Nitty Pie, who's Karina from Calgary. Yay, Karina. We'll try and figure that out. The next one was entry 278, which is Nitty Janny, who is Jan from Winnipeg. Yay also for you. And then entry, the next one, 57, which was, do you know how to say her name?
I think it's Yanlei or Ianlei. I don't know.
It's Leanne, who's from
Oh, you know what? It's Yanlei. It's like
It's Pig Latin?
yes.
That's confusing.
Why did I not get that until just now?
Leanne, that's really confusing. You also win. Yay, you!
Yay!
Yay, everyone!
Leanne is one of our regulars on Monday nights.
Yeah, so,
And sometimes Thursday.
Karina, Jan, and Leanne, send me a message. Let me know if you prefer the bag or the yarn. Depending on how fast you message me, we'll determine which one you get. I don't know why I'm deciding to do it this way, but I am. So yeah, thank you everyone for playing, and we have to... I think we're probably going to do a knitting cal hiatus until possibly January.
Yeah.
To let our... we won't lie, it'll probably take us till Christmas to recover from Knit City, obviously.
And there's so many others going on right now. Like, I really want to get started on the colorwork one that Marsha is doing on Twitch and Stitch.
Mm-hmm. And the Bakery Bears are doing a Christmas gift along.
Oh, nice.
Which I will clearly be participating in.
Yeah.
I have a problem.
And you have your football one now, too.
Oh, yeah, it's the pigskin party as well.
Hey, is anybody doing a hockey one? Because, like, the NHL season is, like, just about to start.
No. We can do
You
that.
say that with such, like, disgust. Come on, kid, you're Canadian.
You know, if it was a CFL knit along, I'd be all over it. But you know what? No one cares about the CFL as much as I
CFL's
do.
almost over.
Yeah, I know, but that's what I mean.
The Grey Cup's going to be soon.
Yeah, no one cares about the CFL as much as I do. But the BC Lions have been killing it, in case anyone's wondering.
Do you know, okay, if you're the big fan, do you know where the Grey Cup is this year?
No, I don't.
Because I don't know either.
I don't have cable. My dad tells me how we're doing, and texts me, like, live tweets me via my phone.
That's so funny. See, we don't have cable either, but the one sports we pay for is the NHL Game Center Live, whatever, so we can watch all of the Ottawa Senators games at whatever time we want, because they always play them at 4:30 in the afternoon for us.
There you go. Yeah, so now we have Knit City acquisitions.
Yeah. You can go first. So because I realized watching all, like, the post Knit City, everyone's talking about their yarn overs and all this stuff. I've only ever done Knit City as a vendor. All 5 years of Knit City, we've always had a booth there, because basically the first Knit City was, like, 2 or 3 months after we first opened, and it's such a different experience as a vendor. And this year, like in past years, it's kind of been a big party, and you get to see all your, like, all the other vendors that I don't usually get to see that often. And this year was so crazy busy. I didn't get to talk to anybody. I think I spoke to Heidi for like 5 minutes, and then sort of to Alexa and Emily and the other Emily from Tin Can Knits, because they were right next door to us. And we talked to Sylvia like in the morning of Saturday or Sunday.
I kept wandering away and harassing people.
It was crazy, and like it was so good to see all the people, but I didn't get to like do my usual like visit with everybody.
Yeah, it was a bigger year for Knit City this year for sure, and then really also big. With the fun of the podcast and getting to meet all the podcasters and all the people who watch the podcast, it was very different. Mm-hmm. Like I've only done Knit City once. Yeah. As a non-vendor, and that was when I was a baby knitter and like didn't understand anything. Yeah. So for anyone who went to their first Knit City this year, you'll understand how I felt. The only time I've gone is not a person working for the store. But it's really fun to do it working the store, because you have like a home base.
Yeah.
And you're like, this is where the crazy stays.
Of course, it starts a lot earlier too, because like we're setting up as of noon on Friday. And so like I was saying to everybody, like, you know, because it's all the crazy of like stress of like getting set up and getting in there, and by 5 o'clock on Friday everything was set up, everything was good to go, and that's when like you just go in and you just run with it, and it's a lot of fun. But before that it's just a little bit like, oh my god.
What's funny is your anxiety stopped and my anxiety kicked right in. Like Friday night after we had everything set up, I was just like, okay, cool, now people brace sell fun things.
That's the fun part for me. Just like sell stuff and talk and yeah.
It's my introverted self. Like, I love meeting people, but the idea of meeting people is very overwhelming. But anyhow, do you guys want to see yarn?
Yeah. And then so she's gonna show you the yarn that she bought for herself. I actually didn't buy anything. I bought a sock ruler for myself. Thank you, Marianne.
Oh, I forgot my sock ruler.
Mine is over there somewhere. Should I go get it?
Yeah, sure. You do that.
I'm gonna play Molly. I'll be right back. Try not to bump the camera.
Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna start talking about yarn while she's gone. So since we were talking about hockey, my mother-in-law normally comes to the last day of Knit City, and I get her to pick something out for herself. So what she picked out this year, because there was actually some left, was the Connects color of the hat trick. which I can't get right way up from River City. So it's the Connects colors. We got 2 skeins because we have no idea what we're going to make. I did want to ask the universe / podcast people if anyone has any good ideas about what to do with close to a little bit over 1,000 yards of this yarn. Last year I made her a hitchhiker, so that's why we got 2 skeins, so I could do a bigger thing this year. Super soft and smoothy. But I'm thinking like a Hito Fude maybe, or if anyone has a big shawl that isn't mainly garter stitch, because I will die if I have to knit this much garter stitch.
Could you have those big round ones?
I don't think she'd know how to wear that. My mother-in-law is not a knitter, but she's very supportive of my knitting endeavors and thinks it's amazing. She really wants me to weave mohair blankets, but I refuse for a multitude of reasons. But anyhow, so I'm thinking either a Hito Fude, maybe a Pebble Beach, and like do the large size and the fingering weight, because that's at least got some eyelets in it.
Was she after the color, or was she after the fact that it's the Vancouver Canucks colorway?
She's a big Canucks fan.
Oh, okay.
And they were out of the Canucks last year, so that's why I got her the Team Canada. But my brain also thinks, I'm like, if I knit her a Hito Fude, she can wear the scarf and the sweater at the same time and just be like, yay, Vancouver!
Oh, does she have a scarf already?
Yeah, I knit her the hitchhiker.
Oh, that's right.
Last
because
year.
I was gonna say that if like you could use them double,
that is the other
and
thing.
then do like a big wrap shawl thing that she could actually wear to games and stuff.
Yeah. I have to ask her whether or not she'd want that. That's another idea, because Sylvia does have a bunch of really nice like DK worsted weight shawls. Because this is a very fat fingering.
Yeah,
so
I was
it would
gonna say
definitely
too,
be a
if
worsted
they wind
helpful.
differently, it'd be interesting to put like
They do.
the whiter section with the colored section of the other skein.
I tried really hard to get 2 skeins that were similar, and it didn't work because the lighting in that corner of Knit City was garbage.
Well, and she doesn't really she doesn't really do like dye lots necessarily, because you're only really supposed to get.
And just for reference, they did not come this jacked up skein wise. We took them out and we were playing with them earlier, so that's why they kind of look all bumpy. When you buy them from River City, they're a lot nicer. But yeah, so I'm not quite sure what we're going to do. If anyone has large shawl suggestions, if we hold it double, it would end up being 510 meters of a heavy DK light worsted, or like a gigantic fingering weight thing. Megan, if from Stockinette Zombies, I doubt you watch this, but if you do, thoughts about this being a Hito Fude, because she knit 12 of them last year, like a crazy person. An amazing crazy person, but a crazy person. So yeah, that's my first acquisition, and Glenna got her sock ruler. I also got one of these. Do you want to show your sock ruler?
This is just
Because I also got one of these. I keep
it out of
meaning to get this
plastic.
from Marianne, and Glenna reminded me.
So it's.
So you put it in the toe of your sock.
Do you have a toe of a sock that you can show it on?
I do.
It's not going to do much on my cuff.
Nothing fell on the floor. I feel like a wizard. So, when you're knitting a toe-up sock, one without a heel preferably, you need to measure it. You put the roundy bit end in the toe, and you can see where it goes up to.
And if you're doing a cuff down, you pop it after you turn the heel. You put it into the the foot part, and you can measure, because it always says like knit till 2 inches before the end of the foot, and then you know how long it is. It does help to pre-measure the foot, of course, but
yes, you can also put it in the heel of your sock to measure the leg. What I plan on doing with mine is making markings on it in pen for like where Brian's heel would be, where mine would be for each individual type of heel we do. Which I'm sure won't get really confusing. Maybe I'll do it on the back of it. Who knows?
yeah, there's something on the back. So I thought the one thing is, I thought it had it's inches and centimeters, but I thought it actually had shoe sizes on it, which kind of would have been helpful, because sometimes you don't know how long an actual, like if you're making gift socks and all you know is like, oh, they wear a size 10. That doesn't always translate to me in my head.
You
but
can also Google it.
Yeah, but I don't know. It doesn't always work as well.
No, for sure.
But anyway.
More stuff. Oh, so I also bought fibre. I'm just going to do that now before I forget. Actually, less fibre than I bought last year. I actually bought yarn this year. I do it the reverse way that everyone else does. Fibres West ends up being yarn for me, and then Knit City ends up being fibre, which makes no sense because Fibres West is mainly, like, has a lot more spinning stuff. So I bought, we were right across the alleyway thing from West Coast Color, and she had these beautiful, huge bags of bulk Falkland fiber, which is just, Falkland apparently is not a type of sheep, but an amalgamation of many short stapled sheep breeds.
That are grown in the Falkland Islands.
Yes. So I got about like 100-ish grams of like a grayish color and 100-ish grams of a purpley green kind of color. No idea what I'm going to do with it. I kept trying to figure out what I was going to do for 2 days. I just stared at her pile.
Did you see somebody came by the booth and had she had spun it up on Saturday night, and she came by her booth on Sunday and had a bit of it.
Wow.
It was really nice.
It is.
It was just like a small amount.
Okay, I was just like, that's
it wasn't
not
like a
fair.
whole batch, but no,
I'm a very slow spinner.
It was beautiful.
It is. It's yeah. I'm very excited about it. I don't know if I'm going to ply them together or like do a 2-ply and then knit them together. I have no idea what's going on. But I had to get something that I could do something with. So worst comes to worst, I'll knit it in a bee shawl. Did
Sorry,
you mess up your stuff?
No, I just realized that I'm done the ribbing now. I'm supposed to be doing a plain row, and after the first needle, I stopped doing the plain row. So now I get to pick out a whole needle. Woohoo!
Yay! I also bought a bat. Sorry, just gonna keep going because I can't make you feel any better. I bought a bat from Farm Fairy Fibre by Crafty Jack's Boutique, which is amazing. It's rainbow and sparkle. I had to buy it. It's a giant bat. I will put pictures, hopefully, of these things here. I had to buy it because it was just beautiful.
Store yet?
I don't know. It was. I did all my shopping like an hour before the market closed, so I don't really know.
Okay.
I was just like, oh, shiny rainbow thing.
Farm Fairy Fibre, for those who don't know, used to have she had a shop in Port Moody. No, Pitt Meadows. That's it. Outer Vancouver. And she had the shop, and then she started dyeing yarn, and then I had heard that she was going to close the shop and keep just like focus on the dyeing, because she does such a great job of it. And
she does.
That's a whole lot of work to do both things. So
I don't know. Her shop may be open. She might have changed her mind.
Yeah,
like, we never really know.
Gossip from the crawl in May.
Anywho's,
I'll stop it.
Like never gonna get through this. Okay, so I also made a stop at the Ancient Arts booth. This colorway, I'd been stalking it online, and I was gonna die if I didn't get this. These were the only 2 things I bought on the first day, because if I didn't get it, I was going to die. So this is their Arctic Midnight colorway in their merino nylon sock base, which is very soft. And I love it, and it'll probably be socks, but I needed it. Needs it. And then also, this guy, which is their Star Trek colorway. Sorry, I'm very excited.
Colorway?
It's Star Trek.
Oh.
It's To Boldly Go. I'm sorry, it was my excited nerd voice. And it's their big squeeze, 100% fine merino bulky. And yeah, to boldly go. So I will. Onto my head, boldly. I'll do what Elise does. And yeah. I would have gotten this guy on bulky as well if it had been an option, but I couldn't find any. So I was trying really hard to not buy sock yarn for me because I have too much. But I only bought 1 skein for me, so that's not too bad. But speaking of sock yarn, this is not for me. I will enjoy knitting it, but I got some of the Ravenclaw Party in the Library colorway from Stitch Please. This is the movie. I get harassed as a Ravenclaw for enjoying the movie colorway. It's better than the bronze and the blue, but bronze is really ugly with blue, guys. Let's be real. The silver is way prettier, and also it's very close to our store colors. So yeah, these are self-striping, 250-gram skeins from Stitch Please. Michelle was fabulous. It's great to talk to her. Apparently all the Slytherins came in and just like bought all the Slytherin colors. There was none of the Slytherin left. These socks will be for Brian. He's technically a Gryffindor, but there was really none of the Gryffindor left. So we went with Ravenclaw because I'll enjoy knitting them, and I also already have some Ravenclaw-esque yarn that was the first anniversary colorway for the store. Yeah, just basic merino nylon. Very exciting. And, sorry, 2 last things.
Okay, I don't have my pattern with me, so I'm trying to just figure out what I was supposed to be doing.
Okay.
Of course, it would help if I looked at the right direction I needed it.
I guess I'll go with this, and then I'll do the other one. So Brian got lost at some point and found the Lana Knits hemp booth, and he decided he wanted this random. He does this frequently. I want this random skein. Do a thing. So it's 100% DK weight hemp, long fiber hemp. It's actually really nice. Apparently, her name isn't actually Lana, is it? The lady who owns Lana Knits? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, Lana was telling Brian, I just didn't want to assume.
She may know, there was another woman there, Kathy, who works there, so I don't know.
Well, the lady at the booth was telling Brian about how fabulous hemp dishcloths are, which I think I've heard from Relentless Knitting as well.
They are, yeah. I've made a couple.
But yeah, Brian doesn't want this to be a dishcloth. He wants it to be something for him. I don't know what.
You
Probably
could totally
a hat.
use a dishcloth. Come on.
Well, he does do all our dishes, so maybe I will sell it that way. But yeah, so that's a thing. This is much smaller than the super bulky blanket challenges that have been previously issued, so I'm okay with that. And then on the strain of sock yarn, I got this beautiful thing from Mud Punch.
Wait, weren't you not supposed to be buying sock yarn?
This is for Brian, though, so it doesn't count.
Sure.
It's for Brian. Because he actually, I don't have a lot of like fancy sock yarn for him, because when we started dating, I didn't know if he would actually wear them, so I wasn't gonna like invest in nice sock yarn. I really invest in nice sock yarn for myself. But I've been stalking Mud Punch online forever and decided to finally pull the trigger as a treat to myself. This is her Harry Hudson colorway, and it's beautiful. And it's gonna kill me a little bit to knit these one at a time, but I will do it because this is beautiful. And she does have her individual website. Chantel does amazing work. And she does also sell her yarn at Bad Anna's, which is where I got this. Superwash merino nylon, 385 yards. We'll definitely be doing these as an afterthought heel because it's so pretty. And Brian was very excited about these colors, which makes me very happy because boring man socks are boring. And yeah, that's all I got. It could have been way worse, guys. I could have walked home with a whole trash bag of Falkland, but I didn't, like an adult. Mike even challenged me to do it.
The West Coast Color Booth had their fiber just in great big giant bags, and you can kind of jump in and buy as much as you want.
I just wanted to roll in it, but then it would ruin the fiber. Lynn didn't seem to care, actually, when I suggested rolling in it.
She would probably yell over that.
Yeah, no, I would just be worried about possibly felting the fiber. But yeah, so that's my stash, and I'm really hoping. Now, I'm not promising I'm not going to buy any yarn until April, but I'm going to try really hard to not buy any yarn, because if anyone saw my Instagram post, I have a lot of yarn I need to work through. Not going on a yarn diet, just trying to be more conscious about my life choices, because knitting is not a consumer race, as Isolde Teague reminded us. Because knitting is about creating beautiful things and not just mindlessly consuming beautiful things for the sake of consuming them. And I have a lot of beautiful things that I've purchased and really want to make the things they're destined to be. So I'm going to try and focus on that for a bit. Okay, I'm done.
Okay.
Off my soapbox.
So I'm going to do 4 stitches and then...
I can dance.
Should we pause it and start again?
Yeah, sure.
So I, as I said, didn't buy anything for me except the sock roller. But I did get to buy for the store, which is kind of as good because then I get to pretend it's for me. And it's fun at the end, on the last day. I usually, I pre-arrange with the vendors, but on the last day I take my little basket and I go over and I come back with piles of yarn and everyone's looking at you like, oh my god, that's a lot of yarn. But it's just for the store, so it's okay. So I'll start with ones that we already had. So I got more of, just fuzzy things dropping.
It's just a bit of yarn.
I visited the Marianne's booth. Sorry,
You're like, I'm going to pull out the ends of this yarn. It was just a piece of yarn.
I'm just like, what's going on? Yeah, so this is one of the skeins. It's so pretty. Her speckle ones. I
think her speckle ones are new, aren't they?
They are, yeah. I don't think she's done speckle ones before this, but they're so cool. So we have, this is red speckle from Smith & Mew, and we have pink speckle. There's 2 of each of these.
There's a lot of beautiful colorways.
And there's lots more. I mean, this is just the one I grabbed. We got more sparkle, and we got more not sparkle sock. And I will try and get them on the website. I have to individually photograph each of these, which it makes it a lot harder to get it on the website before it sells, because sometimes I get around to photographing them all and then I go and post them and I'm like, wait a second, it's all gone. So yeah, come in the store and see it.
Maybe what we should do is just take a generic Instagram post and be like, if you want any of these, call the store.
That one and that one and that one. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. This is from Riverstone Yarns. I'll show you her tag. And she is a BC dyer from... No, it's Creston, I think. Where is it?
We need things that don't make a sound at the beginning.
Yes, it's Kootenays, which is northern BC. But isn't it pretty? This is her Lonely Planet colorway.
It's the Pluto colorway, guys. Her husband agreed with me. It's the Pluto colorway. Because I just have this image of Pluto being so sad at the end of the universe.
Because it got kicked out of the planet party.
I still love it.
So sad. So yeah, and this one is an MCN blend, merino cashmere nylon. How much cashmere is in here? It's like 10-10.
10, I think.
80-10-10.
Yep.
So yeah, we have a bunch of different colors of this one. Some speckled, some not. And then, so those are the ones that we had from the dyers that we've had in the store before. We just got new stock. And then now we have a new dyer. We're super excited to welcome Julie Asselin to our store. And we have two of her yarns. So this one is the Lazy DK. And this is a superwash merino and silk blend. That's 90 superwash merino and 10 silk. And Julie came to our guild meeting on Tuesday, and she was telling us that all of her fiber is sourced from ethically grown farms. Like, so the sheep is not, they don't use farms that do mulesing, and where possible, this one's actually spun in Canada. Her yarns are all spun in North America, either Canada or the States, and her superwashing, she says, is either done in the States or in Germany, and it's of the ethically... as eco-friendly as you can get for superwash.
She was saying it's, if they were to try to certify it organic, it would be able to be certified organic. She compared it to like lightly sanding the fiber with like sandpaper.
Because to superwash, you have to take the scales off the fibers. And traditionally, it used to be done with heat, and then they realized that it cooked the yarn, it was bad for it, and then they did it with chemicals, which was equally bad for the yarn, and then they coating it with some sort of a gelatin or glycerin kind of, I don't know, that's the latest one, kind of like when you put shampoo in your hair or conditioner in your hair. But
that's a much nicer way of describing that than how my brain imagines it.
It's just, you know, it's like that picture on the bottle of the back of the conditioner bottle where it shows you the scales of your hair, and then with the before and after with that's the same as it does to the wool fiber. It's exactly the same thing.
Yeah, cool.
So yeah, these colors are gorgeous. And she was saying that she doesn't even bother to like alternate skeins, even though it's hand dyed, because, you know, usually with hand dyed, you're supposed to alternate skeins so you don't get color blocking.
That's her blue steel, right?
This is her blue steel color.
I can't make the Ben Stiller. I can't. Nailing it. I'm sure she didn't mean to do a Zoolander colorway.
Actually.
Julie, did you? Clearly you watched
hilarious.
This. Yeah, no, she is hilarious.
And then we also have her nurtured, which I put on Instagram with nurture, but there is a D on the end. And this is so pretty. And this one is Rambouillet, Targhee, and Merino.
Maybe if we need a sample with it, we can talk about those breeds.
Yeah.
Maybe. Ooh, I just didn't do an increase.
And it's nice and squishy, and it's kind of rustic. She said it's spun in Vermont, and it's got kind of a rustic look to it.
Green Mountain Spinnery.
Yeah. And
which, if you guys are familiar with breed-specific wools, it's a big deal.
Yeah, they're a really great mill, actually. They have some gorgeous yarns.
They do.
And this one we had, I think, in about five colors, and we have this one in 7 colors. I'm looking at the shelf over in the corner.
Those ones will end up on the website, right?
Yeah, these will definitely end up on the website very shortly. And we'll probably bring in more as it goes along. We just started with two brands, or 2 kinds, and then we'll have more.
Julie was wearing a fabulous yellow hat on the Sunday of Knit City, and like her super bulky weight, and I didn't realize I needed a mustard giant hat, but I do. And she didn't bring it to the guild, and I was
the pom pom on that hat was the best part, because like the yarn looked like a really neat spin. Like it was a big single, but it was
it was really kind of like, if you guys are familiar with Rasta at all, same idea. Felted single. My braid's like, next time we do Rasta, we should get the golden leaf.
That's
or
a good idea.
Because then I can just make that hat.
Yeah, that is a good
idea.
idea.
Look like a crazy person at all. All the colors.
Sorry, okay, I'm just distracted. I noticed it's absolutely pouring outside.
Yep.
Woohoo.
It is Vancouver fall.
I wonder if you can hear that. The swooshing of the cars.
You might be able to. Hopefully
sometimes you can. That's usually how I know it's raining. You can hear that. Even on my 9th floor apartment, you can actually hear the cars splooshing through puddles. So then I'm just going to show you 2 other yarns that are new to the store that just came in the madness of, so after Knit City, we broke down the booth. It's so funny. It takes you a whole day to set up the booth at Knit City, and everybody's out in like an hour afterwards. The booths come down so fast. It's kind of hilarious. But it took us to I think we got home at 8:30 after dropping off the stuff at the store and all the stuff at the storage locker, and then taking the rental truck back. And then on Monday morning, while we were trying to do the inventory and get the yarn back on the shelves, we got new yarn in the store. So it's been a crazy week. This is a new Italian merino lace weight yarn. I love this tealy color. It's so pretty.
Apparently it's dark green.
Yeah, I know. It's more teal.
It's definitely teal.
It's teal.
Yeah. I am an expert on teal.
It's called Nirvana by Filatura de Crosa, and it is 340 meters to 25 grams. So it's all 100% merino. It's so soft. Yeah, extra fine merino. Good old, the Italians know what they're doing. So we have those. And so that little ball is only $7.50. It's amazing. So like you can have like, oh, I want to knit all the things. And then we also just got in the brand new Estelle Alpaca Merino worsted.
I love this color so
which
much.
is worsted weight, like the name says. It's very similar. It reminds me very much of Ultra Alpaca from Barocco. If you've used that one, it's actually softer though because it is 60% superfine alpaca, whereas Ultra Alpaca is only like 50%.
It's 50-50 pretty much. Yeah,
I looked it up to see, and then it's 40% merino as well. Mm-hmm. And you get it's worsted. Actually, it's slightly heavier, hey, because it's 175 meters to 100 grams.
It's also merino in comparison to the Ultra Alpaca that's Peruvian Highland.
Oh yeah, that's also why it's going to be softer.
It does make a difference. If you guys remember my rain outside shawl, or if you saw me on Sunday at Knit City, that was the shawl I was wearing. This would be amazing for it. I'm kind of contemplating.
I'm also gonna make, and I'm totally blanking on their name right now. I showed it to you this morning. The new Shannon Cook. I think it's M. Burl. Is the name of the shawl?
We will put a picture here.
Yeah, it's a gorgeous shawl. And I think I'm going to do that as a sample in like a kind of yellowy green and gray. Or no, cream we decided.
Yeah.
I was going to do gray and the cream's nicer with it.
It is.
But yeah, so this is all, and it's only $14. It's really good. And if I should make a whole sweater, but I don't know. Sometimes I have weird reactions to alpaca. We'll see. And I think that's all.
Yeah. Well, it's high knitting season, so hopefully we'll see more of everyone.
The shelves are nicely stacked. The grocery girls apparently came to visit us. Well, they did come to visit us on Friday. And of course, half our shelves were empty because we'd like vacated we pulled yarn off the shelves to take it to our Knit City booth. So now all the shelves are full.
Yep. Fully stacked, ready for knitting season.
Yes, exactly.
Good for this rainy weather.
Oh, yeah. It's supposed to rain all weekend. Mm-hmm. So, I think that's it for us tonight. Have a happy Canadian Thanksgiving, everybody. Enjoy your yummy turkey dinners and the turkey coma that follows, because that's the best part, really, and the stuffing. And, yeah. The store is closed on Monday. I don't know if this will be up by Monday.
It will be.
Probably. So, we're open Saturday, Sunday, closed on Monday. So that we can all have a little bit of a break.
So Glenda can sleep all day.
It's written on our schedule. Glenda sleeps all day on Monday. That's the plan.
That's a good plan.
I might just knit, but same thing. Yeah, so I think that's it.
Okay. Bye, guys.
Bye.